Hello guys, Erica Hargaton here, certified child sleep consultant with my private practice Babogue. I'm the creator of the Sleep Series, which is an online sleep program based around my 7 steps to better sleep, and I'm a mum of 3. So there is quite a bit I have dealt with myself on the sleep front, and I like to bring that to the table when I work with families directly and in the Sleep Series. So I got a request from a follower recently to talk about dropping naps. This is something that is always hard to navigate because, to be honest, naps are life. It is the time when mammies, childminders, nanas, whoever, get the chance to have a little bit of a break during the day while a toddler goes down for their break and their little sleep during the day. But from 2 years of age, a toddler's sleep need really starts to change. And if you've had a really consistent napper during the day, it can be a bit of a slap when things are like, oh my God, they're not settling for their sleep, or oh no, they're not settling down for bed. And is this because of the nap during the day? And it can be something that you're weighing up, and it can scare you, and it can kind of throw you a little bit if you're not prepared for it, particularly if you've had a really good and consistent sleeper. Having to make changes around naps can be the absolute last thing that you want to do. But for me, it's something that needs to be watched. So if you've a child of 2 years of age that is consistently napping well during the day, let's say approximately 2 hours, and going down to bed at 7 or half 7 and sleeping 11 or 12 hours at night, boom, nothing needs to change there. Things are going extremely well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you've a child that's sleeping the 2 hours during the day and suddenly starts to refuse their bedtime and starts to take long time to settle to sleep, and you're seeing this consistently, like, don't make change based on one day, but if you're seeing consistently maybe for 10 days to 2 weeks, then it could be time to start looking at the nap. Or perhaps you have started to experience early waking or night waking where those things didn't present previously, and your child is 2 or over. Then it might be time to start looking at the nap. Now, don't just drop the nap, shave it. Just take a little bit off it. Sometimes even just shaving off 10 or 15 minutes could be the difference between your child taking an hour to settle to sleep and your child only taking 10 minutes to settle to sleep. It could be a massive change within your child. So go with those things first, and potentially extending out bedtime a small little bit. Maybe those 2 little things are all you need to retain the nap for as long as possible. Because nap retention in the short term should be a goal, to keep the nap, not just for them, but for you, that you want the nap to stay in place. Now, generally, I would see children need and have the biological need to hold on to napping until quite close to 3 years of age. And that's why I don't encourage complete nap drop, and rather nap shaving to happen. So like, just shave it down until it gets to a point where things settle down completely, then leave them settle for a period of time. Then you might enter another unsettled phase where things need to be shaved again, and you continue on that kind of between the age of 2 and 3. Generally, what I have found as children get closer to 3, the need for napping really starts to fall off, and it can fall off quite rapidly. You probably will start to experience nap refusal. You'll probably start to experience quite a lot of drama around bedtime because baby simply isn't tired enough going down to bed. Maybe start to experience night wakes or early morning waking, and that could be the time frame then where you need to drop naps. But let's say your child is still napping formally for an hour a day. Dropping a nap completely is going to see a child extremely overtired by bedtime. So really employ that nap shave I'm talking about. So like just shave it back, maybe 5 minutes every 3 days. That's all your child maybe could tolerate, and extend out bedtime a little bit until you get to the point where you kind of maybe only have a formal nap for half an hour. And then I would drop the nap and put in quiet time instead. But coinciding with that, you need to practice early bedtime. If your child has gone from napping to no napping, then pulling bedtime as early as 6 p.m. is crucial. Because if you keep trying to push it out till 7 or even 8 o'clock, if that was their previous bedtime, it's going to create overtiredness in your child, and that will bring more problems than the nap was creating. So potentially the early morning waking, potentially overnight waking, potentially finding it difficult to settle to sleep because they're just so overtired. That's key. Now, the other thing to watch out for when you start to see the nap drop need to take place is the sneaky car naps. Now, they're actually not the worst thing that can happen. For example, I would have dropped formal napping with my youngest child when he was around 3 and a bit. And we always had, after school activities, and he would end up taking 20 minutes of sleep in the car in the afternoon. Like after 2 o'clock, he'd have a 20-minute nap. And on those days where he did that, I would just extend bedtime out. So rather than him going to bed, early if he had a no nap day, then bedtime would be pushed out until maybe 7:30 or closer to 8 o'clock. These are things that you will need to figure out within the bounds of your own child and what works for them. But sometimes actually letting them have the 20-minute little car nap, but actively waking them after the 20 minutes is something that you'll have to do to try and kind of save bedtime over here. Now, expect frustration from your child if you wake them from a car nap. They are going to be cranky, like no doubt about it. They're going to be cranky, but you've got to make the decision around maybe saving bedtime over here and dealing with a little crankiness here, like maybe extreme crankiness, just to say. So this is kind of like a weighed up situation. I can't tell you exactly when a child is going to need to drop naps. I can't tell you exact time frames on when to shave naps. This is about knowing the kind of markers, knowing the telltale signs. And I would definitely opt for nap shaving rather than nap dropping from the outset. If you do get to the point of needing to drop naps, do it a little bit incrementally to start with. Add in quiet time, so maybe a little bit of TV time in the afternoon, maybe a little bit of book reading, just a little bit of quiet time, less activity time, and use early bedtime. Those things are absolutely key. So I hope you found that useful. If you want to learn more about me, check out babogue.com. Thanks a mil.